The first thing an idiot thinks before starting a business is, I need a big idea. If you only knew how many unfortunate people died holding on to a big idea. I know, you look at millionaires or billionaires and the first image that pops into your mind is of someone with a revolutionary idea. You think Steve Jobs with iPhone or Elon Musk with Tesla and SpaceX, and you think, whoa, if I could create the next big technological revolution, I would have the world at my feet. But if you look closely, you will notice something important. It's not the big idea that makes someone rich. It is the execution and consistency over time. The truth is that most people who got rich in a consistency and sustainable way didn't start with a groundbreaking idea that changed the world. Many of them started with something simple, a common business, a solution to everyday problems. And more important, they executed these ideas with focus and made mistakes, and more mistakes until they got it right. We know this, we call it the myth of genius idea. We live in a time when the fourth industrial revolution is redefining our lives. Technology is advancing exponentially and people are searching for the next innovation that will change the game. Sure, revolutionary inventions are amazing, but in practice, most of the wealth generated doesn't come from innovative idea, but from the ability to improve what already exists. Man, if you just focus on improving what already exists, you'd save yourself at least 10 years of headaches. I know. I live that. Danilo, you, the innovation guy who loves technology and the new market, are saying this? I'm talking about the process of prosperity. And for that, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, especially if you are over 30. The process only gets more painful as you age. Take companies like Amazon, for example. It wasn't the original idea of selling books online that made Jeff Bezos a billionaire. In fact, the idea wasn't even his. What really made the difference was relentless execution, creating impeccable logistics, focus on customer service, and expanding the business to sell practically everything. So, the key to get rich is not waiting until you have the big idea or the greatest insight. It is about acting on something simple but executing it in an extraordinary way. That's the hardest part, doing the simple thing in an extraordinary way. When you move with agility and consistency, you gain experience, improve your process, and stand out in a market that may seem saturated. Danilo, your speech is beautiful, but how do I apply this in my life? Do you know how? Do you have this kind of question in your mind? And I will ask you, by learning to ask questions. Entrepreneurship is above all about solving problems, and the great business comes from answering simple questions but with different perspective, a perspective that sees beyond the obvious. One classic example, Dropbox. Drew Houston didn't reinvent the concept of file storage, but he answered a basic question. How can I access my files from anywhere, quickly and securely? He knew that losing flash drives and not being able to access files on different devices was a daily issue for many. But Houston's big differentiator was creating a simple and accessible and intuitive solution. And more importantly, he executed it flawlessly. The breakthrough wasn't the technological innovation behind Dropbox, but how he simplified people's life. The question was simple, but the answer needed to be efficient and easily scalable. Dropbox grew rapidly because by solving that problem, Houston made the user experience extraordinarily simple, almost frictionless, and that's where the secret lies. Simplicity applied masterfully. It's the foundation of many successful business. Now think about what you can do in your business. The simple question might be something everyday, something that already exists, but you need to find a way to solve it better, faster, and more intuitively than any other competitor. It's not about create something new, but how you execute a simple idea in a superior way. Another example is Airbnb. The question, how can I find an affordable and easy way to travel without relying on expensive hotels? The solution came from a simple concept, connecting people who have extra space in their homes with those who need space to stay. The idea itself wasn't revolutionary. After all, people were already renting out rooms, apartments, or houses. The innovation was an easy and global connection they created, allowing anyone to become a host without complication. They solved a real pain with efficient and, more importantly, with an execution that made the process simple and safe for both the host and the guest. The point here is simplicity doesn't lie in the questions, but in the smart and well executed answer. Anyone can ask, how can I make it easier for people to get from one place to another? But it was Uber that answered this question with an execution that brought disruption and ease to the user. They didn't invent the concept of transportation, but they transformed the experience with efficiency, scalability, and intelligent system that connects driver and passenger quickly and reliably. Let me tell you a secret that took me a lot to learn. The focus on execution is where the real difference happens. When you have a simple idea and execute it better than anyone else, that's when you start to dominate the game. It's not the idea itself, but how you put into practice, and more, how you continuously improve it. This part is the most important, how you continuously improve it, fine-tuning every detail of the customer experience. Tesla, for example, wasn't the first company to make electric cars. In fact, there were several previous attempts, but all with limitation. The difference Elon Musk brought was his obsessive execution in create high-performance electric cars with attractive design and cutting-edge technology, turning something that seems unfeasible into a desirable customer product. Musk and Tesla didn't reinvent the car, but they executed the experience in a superior way, making the electric car not only practical but experiential. Therefore, the secret to getting rich without a big idea lies in finding a simple question and focus your energy on executing it with excellence. It doesn't have to be revolutionary, but the execution must be worth of winning consistently. I'm Danilo Leon, and follow the channel.